And we're live. Welcome to episode number 14 of I Ask No One with Kevin Ray. Thank you for joining. Got a little different setup now with this HD webcam. The windows are not going to blind you, so here we go. And off we go. Hope you're having a great day. I had a listing presentation this morning, my very first, right off of Hunt Road, downtown Buffalo. And then another showing. But cheers to you. And John Lyons, happy birthday, man. Welcome to the 30 Club, brother. Happy birthday, bro. It's called Jagger at noon. Rock and roll. So, today in music, I like to start off the episodes, every episode, with Today at Music. So right at the top, in researching this week and just kind of taking a look to see what happened over the years in music. This is 14 episodes now, and this is the coolest day that we've had so far. So July 25th in 1992. If you were to ask me, any concert that you could go to, dead or alive, any era, any concert at all, any concert, it is when Metallica and Guns N Roses played the Rich Stadium in July of 92, July 25th. We're talking 28 years ago. Unreal. I would have been up there in the Snake Pit. It was the well-oiled machine of Metallica coming off the Black Album and Guns N Roses with the Use Your Illusion. God, this guy's in the mid to late 20s just taking over the world. So I would have been right up there representing the Buffalo well, you know. And it was just about maybe a few weeks later that they were up in Montreal. James Hetfield had some pyro go up right by him. He basically kind of lit himself on fire accidentally in Montreal. And he had to go. He had to be hospitalized. And then he came back without a guitar later on with John Marshall filling on. I could just go forever on that concert. So that's the one concert, July 25th, 1990, motherfucking two. 1983, Kill 'Em All. Metallica's first record was released July 25th in 83. I did not know that, or I just forgot about it. Yeah. So Kill 'Em All. And then also AC/DC's Back in Black record turns 40 years old today. Back in Black. And if you were to ask me what I think of what comes to mind when I hear the word rock, rock, it's AC/DC. And with that Back in Black record, Bon Scott, R.I.P., one of the all-time greatest frontmen in all of music, if you ask me. There's Brian Johnson came in, and they recorded in Compass Studios in Nassau, Bahamas. Maybe you didn't know that, but Back in Black recorded in the Bahamas, and there was a big storm coming through, and there was a hurricane. I forget what the name of the hurricane was, but if you remember the opening track, Hell's Bells, Brian Johnson saying, how did it go? I'm rolling thunder, I'm pouring rain, I'm coming down like a hurricane. He came up with that lyric because the storm was coming in when they were recording Back in Black. So I think that's one of the cool stories about Back in Black. That record is the number 2 best-selling record in the world. Back in Black has sold 49 million copies worldwide. Pardon me, they're number 3 in the world. Number 2 in the world, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd, at 50 million. And then by far, the number 1 best-selling record of all time in the world is 1982, Michael Jackson's Thriller. That has sold 130 million records. So Michael Jackson's Thriller, take that with you. I'm going to take a look at Luke's comment here. Let's see. All right. Yeah, welcome, Luke. Appreciate it. Thurston Moore, guitarist of the Sonic Youth. He turned 62. Kurt Cobain, big fan of his. Sonic Youth, man. Sonic Youth, just a really big alternative band out of the late 80s, early 90s. Really influential on that whole entire Seattle scene. So that he turned 62 today. Happy birthday, Mr. Moore. And it was actually 7 years ago today. I mean, the July 25th, man, July 25th. It was 7 years ago today that I left Cottonwood Drive, my parents' home that I was born and raised in, and I moved out to California. I drove out to San Diego across country, and You know, if I was to look at myself right there, I would fist bump to Kevin, because those next 4 years I really captured a lot. And now, as a member of the Jason Sokity sales team with Hunt Real Estate, had a busy morning, busy week, busiest I've been in a long time. I'm proud of where I am right now, but really it's really molded me, those experiences in California. And one of those experiences was working at Chef Wolfgang Puck at Hotel Bel-Air. So today's quote: if you stamp your passport full of regret, you'll have nobody to remember. You'll have nothing to remember, but a lot to forget. If you stamp your passport full of regret, you'll have nothing to remember, but a lot to forget. And Prince said that. Prince. I was about to cash out in Wegmans recently, and I saw this. $14.99 for a little book like this. I'm like, I don't know a lot about Prince. I know Slayer's guitarist Gary Holt, he had a customized Prince kind of guitar. And I grabbed it. I learned a lot about the guy. What an interesting dude. Prince, speaking of Slayer, that's my bookmark. VIP backstage pass. Pretty bitchin'. So this picture stood out to me. This whole entire magazine I read about Prince. Super Bowl halftime. Do you remember that? When the Bears played the Colts in Super Bowl 41? His performance here. And he was performing in front of 100,000 people. You know, past his prime, yada, yada. But the dude came out, and any halftime show, you compare it to Prince's halftime show from that show. Performing to 100,000 people, 100 million people worldwide, all eyes, and he absolutely killed it. Prince passed away April the 21st of 2016. And I remember that clearly, the amount of support that he was shown by a lot of people in the metal community. You know, he put the spotlight on Prince, and I really didn't know a lot about him until, you know, I read this magazine. But it was around that time. So Wolfgang Puck today, I'm going to go over some celebrities real quick. I'm going to see how much I could cram into here. So we'll see how many I could go through. But Prince, he performed at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony in 2004. So Prince was getting inducted along with ZZ Top, Bob Seger, and one and only George Harrison of the Beatles. So Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony 2004. After Prince passed, there's one video that I looked up on YouTube that kept getting brought up, and it was his performance of my personal favorite Beatles song, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And I'm going to take a look at the comments here real quick. Sup, Rye? Mikey? Mama? Luke? Thanks. But it was the performance at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and again, not knowing much about Prince, all I thought about was, you know, Purple Rain, pop music, you know, falsetto, Mariah Carey type music. And performing that song, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, with Tom Petty up there on stage. There were a few others up there on stage, but including Dhani Harrison. Dhani Harrison is the son of George Harrison. And that brings me to my first guest that I'm going to be talking about today. So part 2, front of house lead host, Wolfgang Puck, Hotel Bel-Air, Forbes 5-star 5-diamond hotel. One of the repeat guests that I used to take care of a lot, one of the cooler guys, was Dhani Harrison, so George Harrison's son. And I remember he had a purple or a red kind of streak through his hair, usually. Always a nice guy, always poking a joke. So when it came time to, you know, to send him off to table 54 in the alcoves, strike a little conversation with him. And one of the conversations that I had with him, in fact, it was the week after Prince had passed away. I remember when I was sitting him down, I mentioned, hey, you know, I saw the video of you performing with Prince. I thought that was really, really cool, man. R.I.P. Prince, and he stopped before sitting down. He looked right at me and he said, "That was the craziest day of my life." He said craziest. Because there's Danny up there on stage performing his dad's song while my guitar gently weeps with Beatles. And I just rewatched it, and I rewatched the halftime show after I read that magazine. It's just, check it out. I'll post a link below. You got to really check that out. So Dhani Harrison, wherever you are, man, great to meet you. Very, very cool dude. I remember when he was in the restaurant at the same time. Who else is in the restaurant? Was a man by the name of Howard Shore. And if that name rings familiar for my Lord of the Rings fans, Howard Shore was the composer of the Lord of the Rings films. Fellowship of the Ring, top 5 favorite movie all time. And for Howard Shore, he would stay in the presidential suite, which, if you want to look it up, how much it is to stay in the presidential suite in Bel-Air. Arabian princes and princesses and presidents over the years. But Howard Shore as well. The guy is very well respected, and he'd have his two big ass dogs with him. And he'd go and sit down at table number that was 56, table 56, Howard Shore. And nice guy coming with his wife. And I remember when I was sitting, I went back to Dhani Harrison back at table 54 to check how everything's going. I knew that Danny was in some score work, so he was doing scores for independent films. Danny, small scores, and I had to let him know Howard Shore was in the building. I remember he said, maybe some of his talent will rub off on me or something like that. So it was funny. So Dhani Harrison, Howard Shore. Let's see what's next. I'm just riffing here. I listed them off. Jake Gyllenhaal. So Jake Gyllenhaal. Nadia, this one's for you. Matt and Nadia are engaged. They're due to get married very, very soon. Can't wait. It's going to be an amazing time. But she likes Jake Gyllenhaal. I do too. The only Jake Gyllenhaal that I knew of was Jarhead and The Day After Tomorrow. Do you remember that movie? Jake Gyllenhaal was one of the guys that would come in, I'd see a lot. And he would go to table 50. And sometimes he'd be with Ryan Reynolds. They were definitely pals. But Jake Gyllenhaal, I think he was filming that boxing movie or something, maybe just after that. But he's one of the guys that referred to me as man or Kevin, instead of, looking at me like whatever. Jake Gyllenhaal was one of the cooler cats there. I never saw Brokeback Mountain. Should I? Let's see the comments here. All right, Hurricane Bahamas. Hurricane Allen was when Back in Black was being recorded. Or it was Hurricane Allen in Bahamas. So Jake Gyllenhaal, one of the good guys. Ryan Reynolds, I remember him coming in. His body is inspiring to me. He is no homo at all. He is this slender, fit-looking dude. He'd come in. He's from Vancouver. Vancouver is one of the cool Canadian towns. If you've never been to Vancouver, if you're a skier, if you like beer, the high rises there and the scene is just really sweet, music and everything. But real nice guy. I remember there was this yay tall kid sitting at table number 60 over here. And Ryan was coming out. It was some morning at 9 a.m., maybe 8:30 a.m. He was walking back to his room to maybe get some work done before his audition or whatever, filming. And he kind of rushed up to Ryan to get a picture with him, and the kid's dad is with him. And I remember just how cool Ryan Reynolds was, man, that little kid. Because I was just watching The Last Dance a few days ago with Michael Jordan, and I know Michael Jordan was God, but he kind of like, whatever, to this French photographer that wanted his signature. Maybe all celebrities are like that at times. I mean, Michael Jordan is like God, but Ryan Reynolds was such a cool guy to that kid. Got down on a knee and got real close to him and everything. Sweet. Henry Cavill. Do you know Henry Cavill? Henry Cavill. He's the new Superman. I'm taking a look at some of these comments. My girlfriend's grandma loves Ryan Reynolds. So, Ashton, if your grandma's watching, I love him too. Henry Cavill. He's the new Superman. There's that movie that came out, Superman versus Batman. So it must have been just after that movie came out. He was doing some press work for that. Really short guy. I'm like, I remember standing behind the computer and he'd be walking by a lot. And I remember just looking at him, I'm like, that's Superman. That's Superman. Good looking dude. The way I do my hair, when I do my hair, I just had a haircut. So I had the little curl that kind of happens. And I've been at registers and different things. And, you know, my look was an American look or a Clark Kent look when I go on auditions. So there's Superman. Real nice guy. British. But I was amazed how short he was, you know, just being this big ass Superman. Let's see. Let's move along here. Scott Eastwood, another shorter fella. Scott Eastwood's Clint Eastwood's son. Scott Eastwood was the very last person that I took care of at Hotel Bel-Air Wolfgang Puck in late 16. And I remember he was leaving the restaurant, and it came time for me to say, you know, bye, greetings, have a good day, whatever it is, because the restaurant's right in the middle of this Forbes 5-star oasis of a hotel, and the entrance is right down there. All the Ferraris and Lamborghinis and McLarens and stuff like that. But Scott, he gave me one of these. He's like, give me one of those wink kind of things. And me personally, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly is one of my all-time favorite movies ever. 1966, released in the U.S. in 1967. That's a movie I kind of put on when I need to like take my brain off a little bit. So I just go and I escape into the spaghetti western of Clint Eastwood. Tall, quiet, cool guy. Love it. And there's his son. He has the same smile, very similar eyes, but I saw the smile and I was like, oh man, I want to meet your dad, dude. I didn't say that. Wanted to. Up next is the, I think the highlight here is Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. Take care of them twice. Let's see. Justin Timberlake, man. I was in 6th grade at a pool party with all the popular kids once. And there's some karaoke going on. There's a microphone, and you know, they're playing all the popular music at that time. And one of the popular songs was a song called Bye, 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 and Sing. And, does anyone want to do Bye, Bye, Bye? And I said I wanted to like be, you know, confident. And I was looking at Brittany over here. I was looking at Brittany Scott. I was looking at Alyssa Levin. I was looking at Victoria Ananina. I think those are the top 3 most popular girls, I'd say, in middle school at that time. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I went and tried. I tried. I lasted 5 seconds. Saw all the eyes on me. Nice lit pool at nighttime, little porch. You got a little fruit punch and cookies and crackers and shit. And towel in between the legs. 5 minutes into that, I walked home. It was at Jay McClain's house, which was right there at Heritage West area, right by Andrew Zion's house off of West Klein there. So I walked back home. Walk of shame times 10. I think I went home and hugged mom or something. But here I am, Justin Timberlake, right here. No strings attached. Jessica Biel, great butt. Very good looking girl. I knew her from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, if you ever seen that. She's got a good scream. Nice mouth. And a butt and mouth guy. Justin Timberlake comes in, sits at table 52, a little bit into their meal, walks right back up to me. Beautiful night. It was a Saturday night in July. It very well could have been right around this week, July of 16. But he asked me where he could go smoke. And I didn't know that Justin Timberlake smoked cigarettes. There's the public area this way. I know there's a little more private area over here. And he walks up to me, turns right, faces me. And here's the guy that doesn't do any meet and greets at his shows, whatever. But I'm looking at him and he's like, yeah, man, could I just want to smoke a cigarette. I know there's a lot of people over there. Is there a more private area? But he's looking me at the eyes, and that guy must have been on some sort of drug. I don't know what drug, but his eyes were like that. And I'm like, JT, all right. And I said, yeah, right away, sir. Forbes 5-star delivery, right? So I was just about to escort him to the other courtyard to smoke a cigarette. And on that little 2-minute walk there, I was going to fill him in on that 6th grade story. Maybe someday I will. But he was scooped up by my bar and food and beverage director, Micah Paloff. And I was cock-blocked by Micah from Justin Timberlake. But had that moment. It was cool. I was like, he smokes cigarettes? He does drugs? All right. Having a good night. Good time. They went back to the room at the end of the night, and that was that. Justin Timberlake, man. It was really cool to see him twice, to show him his table, and he's a nice guy. But I almost had that moment with him. Up next, I want to take all the comments here. Yeah, Katya, I love Justin too. Ricky Martin, you like Ricky Martin? She bangs. What other songs? I think my Aunt Liz and Casey. Yes, my Aunt Liz and Casey were in the building for brunch, and in walks Ricky Martin with 4 or 5 other guys. Ricky Martin, some of his guy friends. I remember looking at that guy and thinking about all the times I played this music in the late 90s, just a heartthrob back then. He looks the same. Different hair. He just looks the same. And he's got one of the best smiles still. So it was cool to see Ricky Martin, man. And then there's my Aunt Liz and Casey, which, by the way, Aunt Liz and Casey, I went to sit down at your booth just to kind of chill. I got written up for the few minutes that I was saying hello. So that was a bad move by me, but it was worth it. I love you. I love Ricky Martin too. Hey, Bridget Burns, I saw Beyonce. Beyonce came in, and she was with a few of her friends. I've taken care of her daughter, Blue Violet or Blue Rose or whatever her name is, who had her little birthday afternoon tea up there in the dining room, which is nice. But Beyonce came in. It was a nighttime. It was dinner. She was definitely just having a good time with her friends. I want to say she had an earring in her nose, which I think is cute. But Beyonce, I mean, I stopped listening to like rap and hip hop in top 40 in like 2001. So when I think of Beyonce, it's Destiny's Child, it's Bootylicious, it's Survivor, it's the TLC bands and so on, that kind of stuff. I also met Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris. So T Swift. Thought of my sister immediately. My sister is a tall blonde. My sister likes Taylor Swift. I don't really know too much about her stuff. I know The Rock likes to quote "Shake It Off" a lot. She, I remember, was coming back from the bathroom, back to her table. She was dating Calvin Harris at the time. I don't know if they're still dating or whatever, but she went to grab the side of my host stand, glass, stone, real nice. But she grabbed, curving around. She gave me that really pretty smile, real close, and I could tell she had a few cocktails in her, which is funny. T Swift. One thing I like most about T Swift is she writes apparently a lot of her own stuff, and she's got a lot of business acumen. She markets herself well. She doesn't leave it to the other wigs to take care of her stuff. She's very much what you see in merch and everything. She's got a hand in that. So I like that. I take a lot from that. Just looking at comments here. Yeah, Calvin Harris. He was really huge at the time. When I was living in San Diego, I went to these premier clubs, party buses and stuff. When we got in, I knew the right people, and we just get in, and Calvin Harris type DJs would be playing, but everyone would be going after his kind of vibe. So Elon Musk. I met Elon Musk, man. The Elon Musk, who was on Joe Rogan last year. Joe Rogan is the biggest inspiration for me in doing what I do here. But Elon Musk, he went to Table 54. He had Table 54 is the alcove right in the way back, private entrance and so on. So we took him over there. and he was on a date, it looked like, with a girl that wasn't too far away from my age. I don't know how old Elon Musk is, but she must have been, 24, 25, very good looking, blonde girl. And I remember he had a really nice button-down shirt on. A lot of these guys that would come into the restaurant, they weren't full suit. They just had really good button-down shirts. I like a good button-down shirt. But Elon Musk, man, what's not to say about him? He'll outlive us all, I think, next to my doggy Chloe. So that was pretty sweet to interact with that guy briefly. But he was there. He was in a mood to impress this girl. I got the vibe of. Maybe it was a first date or second date. I don't know. Sweet. Elon Musk. Sir Mick Jagger, man. And Sir Mick Jagger, he fucking frontman of Rolling Stones, dude. So he came in with this really tall Russian wife or girlfriend. She was smoking a cigarette right outside the restaurant. Is still in the hotel. She and anyone else, you would tell him to put the butt out. But it's Sir Mick Jagger's wife. What are you gonna do? This tall Russian model would probably beat my ass or something if I asked her to put the cigarette out. But my one takeaway about Mick Jagger is, I've seen a lot of older people in their poise, when they're walking, they're kind of hunching over, right? However old Mick Jagger was in 2015 or 2016, that guy was straight up, walking right down back this way towards me on his exit, and said, "Have a great night." No, thank you. Have a great night, or something like that. And he looked at me, he's smiling so big, I thought he was closing his eyes. He's like, "Oh, thank you." And Mick Jagger, man, just walking right by me and interacting with me in my little moment. So he went to collect his wife. They were chilling over there. But on the way, when he was coming in, now that I remember, he had a Secret Service agent, of course, because he's a sir. And that was something that I set up. So he came in through the back entrance, and we had him set up at that table. So every once in a while, you get some sirs that come in, some royalty, and their bodyguards, or their, I have some bodyguard stories down the line here, Eminem, that I really want to get into. But that was very cool. And I'm going to close this episode on Sir Elton John. My first date with Ashlyn was Sir Elton John playing Buffalo Arena, the Sabres Arena there, 2 years ago. So it was really special, even before then, to actually meet Sir Elton. Good job. He didn't come in with one of his costumes. He was with a music producer named T-Bone Burnett. Went and sat down at table 50. Was smiling, enjoying himself. Did the same thing when he was walking out like Mick Jagger. We exchanged a few pleasantries. But the almighty Sir Elton John, and that guy will always mean a lot to me. First date with Ashlyn. She's watching in another room. Love you, Ash. So that's it for today. Parts 3, 4, and 5, we're going to wait another month or two for those. But thank you very much for joining. Those are just some of the celebs that I met, and it was an honor to work at Wolfgang Puck, very much so. Next week, I got my first interview coming up, my first big interview with someone in the industry. I've had a great in-conversation with Christian Lavender, in conversation with my father on Father's Day. Go check it out. Part 2 of that one's going to be coming up Labor Day weekend. Interview number 3. I got a tour manager coming on. He's going to be checking in from Montreal, Canada. We're going to be interviewing live. It's going to be fun. He's got some bitchin' stories and way more to come with music people in the industry. I'm here on I Ask No One. I hope you have a great day. I have another showing today. I got to put an offer in, and me and Ashton are going to enjoy tonight. So in the meantime, until next week, which is going to be all about Metallica Gojira in Tampa Bay in 2009. Metallica Gojira. Little hints for the week after that. August 8th interview, August 1st next week. Returning it to Metallica. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay hungry, and stay motherfucking heavy, man. Thank you. Cheers. See ya.